What's up, family? How are y'all?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Doing good.
So y'all just got back from a trip from around the world. Let's just jump right into it because we've had a lot of achievements. Who wants to start?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Coach. You start.
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, so I went to South America with a goal of, trying to win first place. And I spent a lot of time on patterns. And I did end up winning gold in patterns. And I was very happy with that. And so sparring was like, sparring is sparring.
Yeah.
It can go either way. And a few weeks ago, we had Blake Franklin come in and do a seminar. I didn't even take the seminar. I just listened to the seminar. And he said something that night that I took, and I used that before I went into the ring to spar. He said, don't even think about who you're sparring. You think about what you're going to do, what you are good at. And so I took that onto the mat, and I won gold in sparring. So.
Well, that's amazing. One that you guys went all the way there and you kick butt, and yeah, you took that home. But also, I think that's a good point because that's really good, super simple. Isn't the simple advice
so
always
simple?
Yeah, it converts so well there.
And I'm not. We're gonna quote Blake on that, but he may have stole that from Brent Mason. I'm not sure. It's just for me. And that's for Blake, anyways.
Yeah. Well, and I had a great coach sitting right behind me. I did everything he told me to do, which was my husband, and I was successful. So it actually was easier than doing patterns.
Yeah, so. That's amazing too. Yeah. So what was Blake doing in that seminar? Like, so you said you just listened. You didn't technically Did you have a plan when you go into sparring?
I did. Because I'm like Madeline and I are, I guess probably because we're female, we're a little more defensive spars. Mm-hmm. We're not really go-getters, offensive spars. So I knew I was going to try to play to my defense. I'd already talked to Marshall, and he's like, you're going to stay behind your sidekick. That's what you're going to do. That's your thing. And so when I was listening to his seminar, he was like, do those things you've trained for, but let me tell you to do this. Don't worry about what that other person's doing. Don't even think about that person. You think about what you're going to do. What is your plan? And I was like, yeah, because you'll get to a tournament or a fight or whatever, and you're so worried about who you're in there with.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 1,000% that happens most of the time. But have you used this strategy before at all?
No.
Were you less nervous when you just decided that
I was.
You made your mind up?
I was.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't point sparring. I hate stop break point sparring.
Yeah, because you could be in such good trajectory and immediately it's cut off.
And it's over. And especially if you're a defensive fighter, it's not your thing really. So, but no, I'd never looked at a match like that until he said that.
That's awesome. Well, that's great that it transferred over so well too.
Yeah, and just the environment. I mean, I don't know if I don't think we explained it very well. This environment was like any other we'd ever been in. We were in Argentina. We were in their backyard. They are tremendous martial artists. They of all disciplines, and they live, breathe, eat, and poop martial arts. And so we showed up to this environment. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of countries there, but mostly Argentinians, and they're looking at us. And for Melanie to be on that stage and to listen as well as she did, I mean, everything that I asked of her, she did. It wasn't even, she didn't stop in between rounds and go, hey, I don't understand what I'm doing. She just did it. And was so cool because one of my strategies was, you're in a huge ring. You're in a ring those rings were 24 by 24, but most of the time an ITF ring is 32 by 32. Mm-hmm. That's a big area.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And you've got coaches on each side.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a lot of the competitors would really listen to the coach, but the farther they got away from the coach, because it was so loud, they couldn't hear it. And so I said, okay, when my player goes in that ring, I'm going to ask her to stay by us.
Okay.
And so you're going to see in the video, if you ever watch the video, we put it on Facebook, I'm yelling, stay here, because her competitor could not hear her coach very well.
Okay.
And so Melanie could hear everything because she was right over there by me. I could see everything. It was one of those experiences where, as a coach, it was seamless. I had a player that would trust me. I had an environment that was awesome and electric, and I could see the whole field, and man, it just worked well together.
Did you how did it, like, being there, did you make her approach you more, like, since you were staying closer?
I did.
So
yes.
So it played to your defense well too.
Correct. Yeah. And so they were, I don't know what the Argentinian people were yelling. Aidan can probably speak better to that because he was in the crowd yelling. My people were all yelling USA, and they were on my side of the ring up in the stands. And so I could hear them, and I could hear Marshall plain as day. And I just said, okay, he would say, stay here. And I'm like, okay, just round step and circle around back to my corner and back to this side or that side. And I could just hear everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the biggest thing too. And we've seen this in a lot of fights over the years and competitors and competitions. And like a lot of times you get in the moment, you're actually performing and you don't listen to your coach. You don't listen to your corner just because you've practiced something and you're worried about maybe getting that one transition or that one kick or that one punch, or you're just in the moment and you're just not paying attention, or your ego gets a hold to you. You say, no, I can do this. I don't think they're right. Yep. All those things typically don't play out well. I mean, sometimes you get lucky.
It's funny you say that. I had that in a split moment. It was the second round, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I think I could head kick her. And then I was like, no. Yeah. That's not what your coach is saying. Don't do that.
Well, that's another thing. Because as a fighter or competitor, like, you're in there, and you're not seeing what your corner's seeing.
Right.
Your corner's seeing every single hole, if they're doing their job, they're seeing the holes, they're seeing your opponent's flaw, they're seeing openings that you may not see because you're right there, so like I've seen so many fights lost because of that.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just one small mistake based on the competitor making that decision instead of listening to their corner. And corners being absolutely, like, we've seen that with like Donnie and Andrew back in the day, like you just you see those things, you're like, your corner's yelling at you, like, and you're just like not there.
And it slows down for the coach outside of the ring. If the coach is competent, once you get outside the ring, it slows down. Inside the ring, it's fast. You have to see everything.
Yeah.
Outside the ring, it's slow. I mean, my heart rate's not up. Her heart rate was, and so, but it was one of those elements. And I tell you what, what Melanie did also in patterns was. The only person on the team to do that, number one. And number two, to win gold in patterns in an environment where it is hugely subjective, where every odd is stacked. It's like a movie. Every odd is stacked against you. You're not in your backyard. You didn't eat your own food. You're there all day long. Now you're asked, at 50 to compete in front of the world's best. Yeah. And to walk away not only winning one match, but winning 3, 4. Your patterns match.
I did 4 patterns.
Well, she had 4 rounds. Each round, you don't know what they're going to call. So Melanie had if you know what we do, she was responsible for white belt pattern 21 later, all the way to the monster called Moon Moo. And if you know what that means, Moon Moo, look it up.
We've talked about that before.
My wife is 50 years old. I'm her coach. I'm sitting up to the side, and she has a screen in front of her, and the screen just pops up a name. And you have to perform that pattern on the spot right there.
Got you.
And if you don't, they all know it, and you're done. And you've just spent 15 hours and over $15,000 to find out that you blanked out. And so when she got up there and she won the first round, I was like, wow, okay, now we got something here. Then she won the second round. By the way, each round you have to do 2 patterns, and you have no idea what they're going to call.
Okay.
And you're there all day long.
And how many patterns are there?
In our system,
that they would call, like,
21.
What are the odds? So 21.
21. The lowest ranked pattern being 19 moves.
Right.
Highest ranked pattern being 61 moves.
Okay.
And when I say patterns, I don't mean you're just standing there doing a kick and a punch. I mean, brother, you're out there doing slow kicks above your head, and you're turning around in a circle.
Well, they're supposed to be above your head.
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
Yeah. But and every move is made with intention. Breath work has to be right. The movement has to be correct. All those things are. So yeah, to defeat that against, I mean, everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
There can be absolutely no flaws. Like you said, if the cards are stacked against you anyways because you're not on home field.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have home field advantage. And also, those people are master at their craft, so you have to be too. So,
Absolutely.
congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So she wins 2 gold medals from little Benton, Louisiana, little Benton Martial Arts, the engine that never could. You're right. You remember back in the day when we started?
Man, I remember these two walking in the gym, man.
So
I like it was yesterday. They were about this tall.
Yeah, they were.
If you can't see me, they're very, very tiny.
Don't do it, bro. Don't.
I just want to say it was surreal because here's my wife, best friend, you know, almost 25 years married now. And here I am watching her do something that at first she said she would never do. And then she does. She's my first adult white belt student. And here we are winning 2 gold medals in an international tournament that they had professional martial arts there all day long competing. And so to watch this, I'm not a crier, but brother, I was crying. I had big old tears.
It made me tear up talking about it already.
Very cool.
No, just to see this fruition from you guys, like just come to, you know, like I said, to see it come to fruition just from me being a young knucklehead and training and fighting to what you guys have built. It's just, I've told you numerous times, but I haven't told y'all. I'm proud of you guys. So let's talk about you two.
Yes, sir.
Madeline, you want to start? You going to tell me what you experienced and kind of how everything went?
So my experience, I was the first one to go up out of all of our teammates. And my dad was my coach.
Can you aim towards that mic just a little bit? Sorry. You're good.
My dad was my coach. And we got to the staging area. And how it went was you only the competitors and their coaches could get to the staging area. No one else. They were very strict about that. So it was just me and my dad waiting. And my competitor, who was an older lady, and her coach were a few feet to my left. Like we were waiting there to be called, while our 2 other competitors were in our ring going. And I was standing there, and I was pretty good. I was kind of loosening up a bit, and then I saw the 2 other ladies doing their pattern, and they're doing, if Moon Moo is this huge hill you gotta, you know, get up, Ju Che, which is a secondary pattern, is Moon Moo times 10, in my opinion. And they were doing this grandiose pattern, and it looked really good. And I was watching them do it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I can beat them. And I turn around and look at Dad. I was like, Dad, they're really good. And they look just like the ladies you see on YouTube. And Dad just looked at me and, you know, kind of grabbed my shoulders and loosened them up a bit. He's like, that's okay. Just don't even worry. Just kind of like what Mom said. Just don't worry about them. Just focus on what you know how to do. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm still really good. And I turn around and I take a big deep breath. And they finally called me and my competitor to the ring. And we walk in. And I'm on the right side of the ring, and she's on the left. And they don't call you up by your name. They call you up by color. And they only call up red and blue, Hong and Chong. Mm-hmm. And they call Hong and Chong into the ring, and we both walk in. And automatically, when you take one step into the ring, you're being judged. And so you have to stand a certain way. Your hands have to be a certain way. You have to have a certain look on your face. And so it was game time. So we walk in, and the first pattern has to be a rank-specific pattern, which for me was a 1 of 3 4th degree patterns. And I was just hoping and praying they wouldn't call Moon Moo because, once again, Moon Moo is the most difficult pattern of the 3 that I would have to do. And they called my favorite pattern, Oji. And we go to Chumbi, and we begin. And I get done with the Oji, and I feel pretty confident with it. And then they told us to head to the back, and we had 30 seconds?
20,
okay. 20 seconds to talk to our coach, get a sip of water, and kind of talk about how it went. And, you know, my dad, who was my coach, he said that it looked really, really good. And he said I stuck my kicks, and I looked really solid. And he thought that I beat her in that pattern. So I was feeling even better. I was like, oh, okay. And then they called us back into the ring, and on the screen, whenever they pick a pattern, they have a huge TV about that size, and they show the pattern name on the TV screen of what pattern you have to do. And it wasn't going to be the same pattern that I already did, Old G. It was going to be any of the other 20 patterns that I knew. And so they called a green belt pattern. What luck. Wanyo. I was like, oh, this is, yes, awesome. Because I teach this pattern every week. So we go to Chumi for Wanyo. They say go. And I felt pretty good with Wanyo. I think I felt more confident with Wanyo than Ulji. And we get done. We go back to Chumbi. They tell us to show or relax while they make their decision. And I got it very briefly on a video, but the way they voted, they had like it looked like PS3 controllers.
Yeah.
And they had these joysticks, and I guess they would just point the joystick to whoever side they wanted to vote, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so they had their controllers out, and they were voting, and I waited, and I waited, and waited. And then up on the screen, they had the votes 3-2. It's Argentinian. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, wow, that sucks. And that was my first round. And so we bow out, we get done, and I felt pretty good, but I also knew that all these Argentinian women were really solid. I didn't know what she looked like because, once again, I wasn't like focusing on her because I was doing my pattern. But when I got done, everyone who I talked to, including grandmasters, my teammates,
other countries,
some random dude from Ireland in the stands, said that I should have beat her. And lo and behold, she won the whole thing, the whole division. So I don't feel too terrible about it because once again she won the whole thing, but at the same time it was so defeating. But I did learn a lot, and I did have a fun time.
And how many people were in your class?
8, including me.
So how did you land? Out of 8?
What?
Maybe would you say? Did you get the bye?
Yeah, all the Americans got buys.
Well, there were no buys.
Oh, there were not. Oh, yeah.
Because there was 8 of them.
She was like you might have gotten 5th.
I was the third match to go up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and as a coach, I don't mean to interrupt, but as a coach, I watched this, and Madeline, although she's injured, we're not even going to talk about that, I guess, but she's injured. She's 80%. I think she wins. And I watch this go down, and I go, in the back of my mind, I go, that's our best competitor.
Yeah.
And she just lost first round. We're in for it.
Yeah.
And that set the tone. that
no,
sets
no,
the tone.
you're not the best.
And I'm sorry. I know he's going to talk in a minute, but as a coach, you got to keep everything relative. And I'm like, oh no, I hope we didn't come down here, and I hope we're not. Please, Lord, don't let us get outclassed.
Well, you were in the stands with all the Rockwall people because there was only 1 or 2 people competing the first day, and Madeline is our pattern guru.
Hey. I haven't said anything yet. Oh my God.
That's Madeline.
Taking all my stuff.
That's her bag. And so when she lost that match, Aidan said, and he'll tell the story probably better than me, everybody just got really down from the States. We were concerned. Like, if Madeline can't place, who's going to place?
Yeah.
So, sorry,
well,
Aidan.
So before we go to Aidan, before we go to you, I don't want to lose this thought because I'm bad about, like, we'll get into something else and I'll forget to ask you some. So you're not the type of coach that is going to lie and make them feel better. Mm-hmm. If you say you look like crap, you're going to tell them, right?
They got to trust you.
Right.
They got to trust you.
Right. Just making that clear.
Yeah.
So, like, if you felt confident that she did, if you felt confident she did that great, then obviously she did. You know what I mean?
There's been plenty of times in class where I've been honest with them and they haven't liked it, but that's made them the competitors they are today. So when I'm at an event, I'm not going to change that. And sometimes your best isn't good enough.
No, yeah, we've had people at tournaments come up to me and say, don't you think you're being a little hard on them? I'm like, no.
We're here to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And compete. I mean, if
You suck today.
Yeah, you spend all the time, which is unfortunate. Like, it's one of those things where, like, tough love, I guess. But when it comes to combat sports, I mean,
Right.
Absolutely.
you're putting in every bit of day. Like, how many hours a day you guys putting into training? Like, all of you. Like, I mean, multiple hours a day, every single day, probably, not to mention you're running a school.
Too.
Yeah, not to mention you're running a school and you're coaching other people, and that takes away from your time of training. So, like, yeah, it's when you show up, it's game time. There's no excuses, no BS. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you for asking that. And I do want to say to everybody who's listening, you want everybody to be honest with you. You want your parents to be honest with you. You want your friends to be honest with you. You want your coach to be honest with you when it's convenient. A good coach is going to be honest with you no matter what.
Yeah.
You did great today. I don't know why I don't know. She did awesome. I watched her, and in my mind, I thought, we won this. And then when I saw 3-2, I went, Lord have mercy, we are in for it. We are in for this.
Yeah.
So we have a very good coach on our team, head coach Robert Powell from Rockwall Black Belt Academy. Love that guy to death. If you're listening to this, thank you, Coach. But he said, you got to beat those guys 3-1. It's not going to be fair. You've got to beat them 3-1. In patterns, you got to be 3 times better than they are. Mm-hmm. And we knew that going in. But so, yeah, you're going back to your question. You're not a good coach if you're not honest.
Yeah, gotta be because it's especially if that's your it's your due diligence.
Absolutely.
Especially if you see, and another thing, if you see something, you see something they didn't see, you need to let them know, hey, they're dropping their hand, whatever.
Absolutely.
You gotta let them know these things.
Absolutely.
So, all right,
he's dying over
let's
here.
go, Aidan.
Hey, my name's Aidan Fulgium, and I was at the tournament. They took every single. No, I'm just kidding. So like them being our parents, and them coaching us, you'd think like them being our parents, it would be a little bit more forgiving, But no, not really. They're very mean, and they're very. I say that they're straight to the point when we compete. There's been tournaments where I thought I've done well, and they just said, "Aidan, you just look flat today. I don't know what you were doing." And there's tournaments where I know I didn't do well, and they said I did good. But I wouldn't have any other coach though. My coach lives with me. So it's kind of, concerning sometimes. It's like, are you up? Are you, have you trained today? Like, Mom, you're at work. You're fighting cancer right now. Leave me alone. But anyways, the first day, me and my mom, we did not compete because we had the first day off. And so we were, that tournament, we were meeting just all kinds of new friends. Argentinians love Americans. Mm-hmm. So when they're not competing against them. Yeah. And so I was walking around, I had some kid walk up to me and call me by my name. I didn't even know who he was. And he told me he followed me on Instagram. I'm like, dude, I had no idea. So I felt bad. I didn't know his name, but, it was a super cool experience. Everybody wanted photos. They wanted autographs. They wanted to trade jackets right away. We all felt just like rock stars. It was like, we get out of the Uber and they're like, oh, photo. And I was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. But, it got old after a while. I don't know if you've ever, by the third day, somebody walks up like, photo? I'm like, okay, listen, one more. But, anyways, yeah, so the first day, I was super happy, and then by the end of the day, I was so upset. I was just I was so mad, and because we all got whipped in patterns the first day. My dad, he got out there and competed. I thought he should have won.
Oh man, he didn't talk about that.
I know, he never talks about himself.
Save him for the end. Then.
Yeah, I thought I didn't want to spoil it, dang. But he didn't pull it out. I thought he should have won. But like my mom said. It was defeating when Madeline, she won't say it, but our number one pound for pound, gender for gender person on the team just lost. It's like, dang it, that was our best card, and we lost. I don't think we should have lost, but definitely we shouldn't have lost. And our entire team was like, you know, they weren't going, oh, that's Madeline, she should have won. Well, they weren't talking trash or anything. They were like, dang, bro, how am I going to look now? How am I going to fare? Madeline just lost. And I was thinking the same way because, you know, even though I'm better than Madeline at almost everything, but, you know, I was like, dang it, bro, how am I going to get out there and do these patterns now? I'm going to lose. But, yeah, so at the end of the first day, I saw my dad lose. I saw Madeline lose. And I felt like Argentina was like, they counted us out. And I was like, tomorrow, that's going to be a different story. It has to be a different story.
Yeah.
And the next day, it started turning that way.
Yeah.
My mom, man, she won our first gold for the United States. And when I was rooting for her, and I would tell these people around me that was my mom, that's my mom. And they were like, that is your mom. You know, like, yeah, dude, she's out there competing. And they thought that was the coolest thing, that my biological mother was winning gold out there. I was like, yeah, dude, that's her, man. That's her. But she won the first gold for our country. And everybody else up to that point was still kind of, it was the second day of patterns and was still not going so well. But she set the tone for us going forward. She kind of gave us a little bit of a spark that, and you know, Americans, that's all they need is a little glimpse of hope, and they ended up pulling it out in the end. So I didn't fare too well in patterns. I won my first match 3-2, and my first pattern I did was Samuel, and I always mess up on that one, but I didn't mess up doing it, which is a blessing. But the second pattern I did was Gaybeck, and I was like, okay, I know I got this guy. And I ended up beating him 3-2. My second pattern match, I went up against their star, Argentinian's #1 guy in patterns, and he was good. He was good, but it's kind of the same thing that happened to Madeline. I feel like I got, you know, and I know everybody feels like they don't get the fair end of the deal when they lose in competition, but when you have other countries coming up and saying it's not just yourself, but you have grandmasters from England and in Argentina and the Irish as well. They're like, how did you not win, Aidan? So I don't know, but you know, I was upset, and I was, you know, kind of, because I wanted to place in patterns. I've really had a growing love for patterns in the past year, and I was working on them almost every day, and I lost, I think, 3-1. The other judge had a tie. So
there's 5 total judges.
There's 5 total judges, yeah. So, you know, and then the next day, Madeline only had 1 event, and me and my mom had 2, and my dad had 1 event. Or no, I had like 8 events.
Yeah.
I don't know what Coach Powell was thinking, bro. He signed me up for sparring, team patterns. I had to also sell merchandise. I was like, hold on, man.
Sign autographs, do interviews.
But I got to go spar this guy real fast. Yeah. But anyways, so, in sparring, in individual sparring, I had 27 in my patterns. 27, that's the biggest division I've ever had to compete against. I had a Polish guy in there, had a Russian guy in there, had a teammate, Alex Taylor, he was in there. But for sparring, I had 25. And it was a weight class. It was the 65 kilograms. That's not very heavy, but you know, there was a couple guys in there I thought were a little bit above that weight class, but you know, whatever. But I actually have like a weird. They were very biased, I would say.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime you're in a judge sport, especially if you're not on home field, like I said, I feel like you're always going to run into that, which is unfortunate, and that's why, like, well, to me, it just makes me think like you have to be undeniably perfect, and that's almost impossible because you can't do that over and over and over for every single event.
That's a great point.
I mean, it's just like when the fight goes to the scorecard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it goes to the scorecard, man, it's like it's in their hands, and you have absolutely no. I've seen horrible. I've texted you in the middle of the night saying that was the most BS call I've ever seen in my life. But you know, it unfortunately it is what it is. But I mean, it sounds like you guys still went out and performed. You know what I mean?
Well, when you know there's only been one perfect man in existence, and you have to go out there and be perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, what? But,
Jesus was a strong man.
that's the
all I
only
gotta
way
say.
you're gonna
Yeah.
beat them too, is if you walk in like J-Man. But,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I had a good sparring. I sparred one. I had the bye, and I had to spar a gentleman, and I beat him 2-0. And I feel like I felt like the entire time they weren't calling my points, like how I was scoring them. Like they were leaving some out. My second match, I won 2-1, and I don't know how I don't think that guy ever hit me, but he was a nice guy though. But I won those, so I got a bye, and then the one next 2 matches. So I had to come back the next day, and I had to spar in the semifinals. And the entire time, me and my mom, we were seeing this 4th degree there, this 4th dan, and this dude was like whipping everybody, bro. And he was on my side of the bracket, and I was like,
he had knocked 2 people out.
Yeah, it was like watching. I'm
They
sorry.
were out.
It was like watching Karate Kid all over again. You had Daniel.
Yeah.
Doing his thing, the good guy for us, and you had this dude from Argentina that we were kind of watching in video, and he was like he was Johnny,
He
like
was
a
coming
buzzsaw,
up
bro.
on this end of the bracket, and Aidan was coming up on this end of the
Yeah.
bracket. I'm like,
well, we were kind of, there was still the bottom of the bracket, but me and him there were so many people, we were coming up in our own side of the bracket, you know. But he was embarrassing people. There was one match that the second round, he just took off. Like, he looked like he was working with a green belt out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang it, son, that's the guy I got to spar.
Yeah.
And but you know what? I woke up the next day, and you know, I went to bed. I was like, you know, it's been fun. It's been great. I met so many people, and hopefully I can be friends with this guy after, if you know. But you know, I got to the tournament, and there was only 4 of us left. There was an American and 3 Argentinians, and I went to go spar him, and he wasn't there.
Yeah, the guy, the 4th dan, didn't. We don't know why he didn't show
We
back up.
don't know. He was like the KGB
So
man.
I
He wasn't
have
there anymore.
I have a theory on that. I was in the stands,
Keep
and
it
I
professional.
told him, I said, you need to watch this guy. Like, I was yelling it. And there were other coaches standing by him, because they had players down there that were competing, and they were looking at me and looking at Marshall and looking at me, and I started videoing the guy because we wanted to go home and watch a video on this guy for the next morning, and I think they pulled the guy out and switched him. I really
Yeah,
did.
well,
I mean,
We don't know.
blessing.
We don't know.
maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, keep it professional. We don't know what happened.
I don't know,
But
it's a little shady. The thing.
Yeah, or do you think it was? How does that work on their score? Do you think he was used to push them up in the bracket? Like, does it work that way?
I have no idea.
I-
If they put him in here, they put him in there, and he beat up on everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like,
And,
why
and
would
I
you do
said
that?
maybe they were running 2 brackets at the same time in that ring.
could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, he was sparring guys in my weight class.
He was.
He was, and I saw him and his coach watching you
Yeah.
when you
Well,
were competing.
so
There's a
there-
lot of that goes on.
There was other things going on too, and I just want to say, as a parent and as a coach, those things kind of those lines blur, right? But as a dad, I'm like, when you see a grown man go into a ring with other grown men, his weight class, and set people down, and not just one person that day, but 2 in violent fashion, that perks you up a little bit. And so we watched video, and we were as prepared as we possibly could be the next day, and he just wasn't there. And so I don't know if he took the wrong Uber or what, but either way, something that's very that's different with my son, and I'm gonna brag on him in front of everybody here. He's a 6'2", long, lanky guy that can be offensive and defensive. He can spar both. He's not one way. And so I think they were really concerned with Aidan because he had a really good shot. He's long. He can reach out and grab you, and their style is way more aggressive. They're going to give you a couple of feints and this, that, and other, and then they're coming for you. And they're going to bash your face in. And he was hitting them going away. He could step away and kick them, and it was so obvious. And so I think that's what they were doing. They were really watching him. They put this guy in that ring. We're going to find out how good this kid from America really is. And then when he lost, it was like, where'd he go? And we didn't get to see him win gold.
Well, he didn't lose. He just didn't show up that next day.
When you lost.
Oh, when I lost, man, I was so mad.
Yeah.
What happened, man?
Well, you know,
Let's talk about it.
there was, no.
Keep it professional.
I Okay, so there was, when you get warnings in the ring, if you kick somebody in the back, if you go out of bounds, if you kick somebody low, you get like warnings, and sometimes you get enough warnings, you get minus points.
Got you.
So if you get, should be 4 warnings or 3 warnings, you should get a minus point. Well, I was sparring, and if any other country is watching this, and I bet there will be, if you want to beat an Argentinian, just one word of advice: you have to be patient.
Yeah.
They're so just gung ho, man. They will, and if they do catch you, they got you. But if you be patient and you just, they're like an ADHD kid. They can't sit still, and so you just gotta wait on them to come to you. And so that's what I was gonna do. So this guy ended up coming to me, and I missed him with my kick, and it brushed off of his shoulder and then touched his back. And the ref gave me a warning.
You went like this.
He only gave me 1,
Yeah.
and I went into minus points right away.
Yep.
So I was already losing 4-0 on every judge's scorecard. I'm like, what?
Yeah, because you got 4. You have 1 ref, 2 competitors, and 4 corner judges.
Right.
And they're constantly doing this.
Well, and a kick to the back doesn't get you a minus point.
No.
You should get 3 of those. A minus point is like you're not having good sportsmanship, or like you're trying to actually, hurt that person. I just hit him I might have hit him in the back, and I got minus points. So I'm like, okay, they're trying to make me lose here.
Yeah.
And I end up hitting that dude with 2 spin kicks to the face, which should get me 6 points.
No, 1 kick to the face, 1 spin kick was to the back of the head. It was so loud, I heard it from across the ring. No
Yeah.
points. Knocked his competitor out of the ring with it. Hit him in the back of the head and went out. It sounded like this.
Yeah, well,
That's what I heard.
Hey,
Anyhow.
they didn't count it, but and after I hit, oh man, I was so mad. After I hit him with 1, like it made him turn his face and everything. And like I look at the scorecard, it didn't change, and he like looked at it, it didn't change, and then he starts celebrating on me. I'm like, I just slapped you in the face with my left leg, gang.
Yeah.
But anyways. So I know I lost that 2-1.
Do you think? What do you think? If you weren't after each attack or whatever, if you're not you're not worried about that scorecard and just focused on, like, do you think that's the thing? Like, or do you think it's important that you look at it every time?
Thank you for asking that question, because one of the deficiencies I had as a coach was I wasn't used to the environment.
Okay.
And there are so many things going on that you cannot just watch your player. You have to watch everything.
Yeah.
And it's mass pandemonium. Imagine being at the fair and you're competing for something in a group of people of like 1,000 people, right? And so you're trying to watch the popcorn stand, the cotton candy, and the next thing you know, the clown shows up, right? And that's what this is like. And so take nothing away from what they did down there. They did awesome. It was an awesome event, terrific event. As a coach, I've got to get better at watching what goes on outside of the ring as well. Mm-hmm. And so, I took notes, mental notes. The whole flight back home, I'm going every play over in my head. What could I have done better? And we're going to be better next time for sure.
This is points. Are you talking about point sparring?
It's kind of like a boxing match.
Or is it, this is back and forth?
This is it's a continuous sparring match.
Because my question is, why, once you were constantly looking at the scorecard while you're fighting, is that always your strategy?
Well,
I'm not
Yes,
judging you. I'm just asking.
Well, I need to know if I'm up, because if I'm up, I know I can just stay behind my sidekick and I'll
Got you.
I'll
So
just pace them out.
Got you. Okay, so it's more like it's you're strategizing it's a good defense mechanism. Say, okay, this is where I'm at in the fight.
sir.
Let me be careful and make sure I hold my position.
I'd tell you like this: it's like a kickboxing match, or like a boxing match. A boxing match you can't see what the judges are
Right,
scoring.
exactly.
It's just like that, but you can actually see what the judges are
Got you.
scoring.
Got you.
And you can have a 4 or 5 point swing in 2 seconds. You can be up by 2 and be down by 3.
Do you think that deters your psyche if you think you're down? And
Oh yeah.
okay.
for
Oh yeah.
That was my only question. Was like, is it? I understand the strategy behind it, but also it could push you the other way as well.
It will. And so going back, as a coach, you got to keep him grounded. You're going to have 2 10-minute rounds with him. I had 2 10-minute rounds. I'd set him down. I'd pick up his feet. I'd give him something to drink, and I'd go, listen, you're down. Mm-hmm. Or listen, this works good.
Okay.
And you got to be, they're kind of like coaching somebody in a ring, and all you guys watching will know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like being on top of a racehorse. I've never ridden a racehorse, but it's how you've described over the years being on top of a horse. Like, I've got this really fast animal that's fixing to take off and leave me. So I've got to hold on, and I don't want to use a burst of speed until I have to.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're coaching a fighter in a ring, you're like, okay, I know we can do better. I know we can move around more, but we got to, how many times you guys hear me say patience, stay here, patience.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the big thing. Relax.
Especially if you're dealing with opponents that, like you said, are on the offense, like constantly.
Mm-hmm.
If they're constantly on offense chasing you, then you got
They
to.
never get tired too.
Yeah.
That's another important thing to bring up. Yeah, because man, the level of intensity of somebody who has that much cardio who's constantly on the offense, and that you just have to find your position or find your hole. That makes it really difficult, especially if you're not used to, sparring people like that
Yeah.
or competing against people like that.
And I just want to take this opportunity and say, for anybody that wants to do a combat sport, if you think that working on cardio, that you've done enough before your fight, you're out of shape. There is no reason why, as a combat sport participant or any sport participant, you are not doing extracurricular activities, CrossFit, yoga. You're not doing any of these things to make sure that you need sparring, of course, but you need to be 155,000% in shape. If you think you're in shape, you're not.
Well, yeah, because I've had this conversation with a lot of people.
Right.
And I've been on both sides of it. Now I just compete in CrossFit, used to compete in combat sports, married the two together for a while, was training both. You have to be able to push your heart rate and keep it there. And sometimes in training, even cardio intense training, whether it be sparring at the gym, doing bag work, those are all things that are almost like, this is my opinion, okay? Those are things that are your floor. You're never pushing yourself to your ceiling.
Nope.
You're always doing bag work. You're going to do that all the time. You're working on technique there. You may always be doing your road work. But like finding other things that push your heart rate and keep it there, because when you're in a competition, especially a fight, your heart rate is maxed out, and you can only perform. Some people can perform at that maxed out at 175 beats per minute for 5 solid minutes. Some can only make it 30 seconds or a minute. And if they've never pushed themselves to that limit and trained under that limit, no matter if it's throwing a medicine ball, running with a tire, it's not going to be hitting a bag. It's just not. Yeah. Especially if you're in shape as a fighter. Like, it's not, hitting bags not going to get there unless you're, maybe if you're diminished and you're all the way at the end of a workout, maybe, but it's still not going to be that. So like, I think it's extremely important to marry all types of training together, cross training, weights, cardio, extreme cardio, like
diet. It's all got to be, it's got to be part of your game. And you only have at best a 50% chance of winning anyways. So why in the world would you want to go in a ring 20%? You want to go in a ring at close to 50% as you can get. You're not going to be 60. The other guy's going to have 50. And then that's why you fight. That's why you figure out who's going to win this. And so if you're not doing that extra stuff, like you said, to push your heart rate under pressure, and in our game, while trying to get somebody to punch you in the face, brother, you're not going to have it. Yeah.
No, I think it's important to bring up. Well, let's talk about how you fared. I didn't even know you didn't. This man's so humble, he never mentioned he was competing at all. No. You did drop some breadcrumbs after the fact, but I didn't even know you were. I thought you were just coaching these guys. I didn't know you were actually going to compete as well.
Well, I'll just keep mine short. So, all the years training martial arts, it all came down for me one kick 4 years ago now. I hurt my hip. I cracked my hip, and I haven't been the same since. It hurts when I kick. It's bad. Then about a year ago, I decided, well, I'm going to get out there. It was last Christmas. I'm going to go out there and play some basketball with some young cats, and I broke my foot. And so,
did you win that basketball game?
I don't remember. It was dark.
That's not important. Those details aren't important.
It was dark, and the sun was in my eyes at the same time. But going into this thing, it was going to be, I'm just going to be a coach. Well, these guys started telling me, Dad, we want you to compete. The last time I had competed was last time I won a championship was 2018. I was okay. So 2 weeks out, I called our head coach, Robert Powell, and I said, hey, I think I want to compete in patterns. He's like, bro, you should. And so, and I did. And I got out there and I did all right. My moon moo was atrocious. For those of you that do moon moo, you know what I'm talking about. But I thought my old G got him. But I would tell you, I walked out there with a gentleman. I'm wearing his jacket. He traded me jackets. I don't remember his name. Very, very kind guy. Very awesome dude, Argentinian. And he's tall and he's, there's no weight in pattern. So I look over and I see him and he's about my age. I'm 50. And so I start competing with my pattern. In my mind, I'm up there to figure out what pattern I'm going to do. And in my mind, I said to myself, man, don't let it be moo moo. And as soon as I said that, flashed up moo moo. And I looked at every one of the judges, all 5 of them sitting down, and I just had a smile face. And I went, all right, guys, okay. And I did the pattern. And so I did OG after that. Thought I won an OG. Thought it should have went to a third pattern, a pattern off, which is going to be a random pick as well. It didn't go how I wanted. But I was very upset with myself, and I walked off, and I saw our coach. I saw our head coach, and I said, man, coach, I wanted to do better for the team. I was upset. I wasn't embarrassed for myself. I was upset that I couldn't bring another medal to the team. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me, he said, you have done something, and this will always stick with me. You have done something that only a couple of people that he knows, and he's been all the world competing, has ever done. He said, but you've done something also that I've never seen. You competed with your family, your entire family, at an international championship. He said, anybody else wants to talk? Well, I know we can cuss on talk shit.
Yeah.
You tell them that.
Yeah.
And so I walked out there with my chin up. I was excited to be there with these guys, and it allowed me to take a big deep breath and go, you know what, man, I'm not too old to do this, and so I am thinking about maybe doing another one.
Comeback tour. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm trying.
You better, hey, you better start training now.
Aidan, you may ask him how many times he did his sets this week?
Yeah. None.
Man, you got to have a couple weeks off,
Yeah, man, come on.
After international competition.
He's had a couple weeks off. It's time to get back training.
You got to do the tour,
Yeah. Hit the buffet a couple times. Have a couple beers. Oh, man.
But no, I just, I don't know how much time we have, but I just wanted to say, man. I just want to say that there were teammates. We had teammates from Houghton. We had 2 from Houghton. We had 2 from Shreveport that went. Our family, God love the Tears of Shreveport Taekwondo. Mm-hmm. We have a extended family now in Rockwall. All those kids over there, Michael and Parker and Hayden and David and Dingman and Alex, Ella, all you guys. They have been awesome to train with. They've opened up their families to us, and so our coach Robert Powell from Rockwall Black Belt Academy, really, love him or hate him, he really pushed us to be the best we could be. And then our instructor, Grandmaster Jason Wadley, who, if he hadn't opened up some doors for us, would not have been possible. It was awesome to see everybody down there, and it was awesome to be able to compete and for them and with them. And we very much look forward to doing this again. And I want to say this. I know that other sports are great. I'm not taking anything away from them, but I need our students, I need more teammates, because we were talking about this in the way here today. We were able to go to another country that loves America. I mean, when I tell you the craziest question I got asked all week long was, what's it like to go to Walmart? Right? What you guys can go and do? You can go in Walmart and shop for. You can shop for anything you want, whenever. To go to another country like that and be a part of something like this with my family is second to none. Oh, and by the way, you go to an event where you can win a legit gold medal. I think it's unparalleled, and so I need more teammates. I need more people that want to experience this.
And this is the second time you guys have been international to compete too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Last time was it Italy?
It was the third time.
Third time.
If you count Canada.
Well, we love Canada.
I love Canada.
I'm joking.
We love Grandmaster Johnson and you guys. We love you guys, man. Y'all are awesome.
Canada, but then you guys went to Italy, I believe, right? Was it Italy? Where'd y'all go? England. Excuse me. Okay.
So, you're not going to go, if you tell anybody that wants to be in fighting and they say, oh, I'm going to the UFC. Well, okay, partner. There's steps to that, right?
Yeah, man, that's 1%. You're
right?
1%. Yeah.
Right. So when you say that, you're 1%. You're competitive. You're a professional athlete. You understand what I'm talking about. These guys now are the 1%.
You guys are 1%. Yeah.
And to come from very humble beginnings, we just wanted to do something as a family, and to be blessed enough to be able to do this at a very high level, and for them to be just now starting to get in their prime, me getting out of mine, my wife staying in hers. Bro, this ride has been so awesome.
Yeah, and I want to ask, we have some older people that train with us. I say older, they're my age. that are men, and these people in these other foreign countries, like they are all still my age and they are all competing. Like
Yes.
they are very passionate, even at 50. Like they take it very seriously. They don't care about age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just there's something for older people that still want to train and maybe do something competitive. This is an art for you.
Yeah. Let me add to that. I asked one of the coaches. I said, "Let me ask you something, Coach." He spoke very good English. He was one of the it was like 5 or 6 Argentinian teams. I said, "Why don't I see any fat people? Any people overweight?" That's what I meant to say.
You're not in America,
Right? And he looked at me, and that's basically what he said.
Yeah.
He looked at me and he said, "Because why eat when you can train?"
Huh.
And I said to myself, "Holy smokes, bro! We're in the belly of the beast." I do want to shout out to Jason Souza as well, our student, one of our instructors. Jason Souza, at 50 years of age, in the men's 3rd degree division, won 2nd in fighting thanks to Coach, and won 2nd in patterns thanks to Coach Madeline. And so, Jason Souza, huge shout out to you. Couldn't be here today. Huge shout out to you, bro. He's definitely a part of the team. He's our family. He's Jason Souza Fulgium. So, anyhow.
No, I mean, all those are great points. I think that, I think it's very. I didn't realize, you told me beforehand, but I didn't realize how competitive that country was in this sport. You know, when you mentioned, I was like, England, I was like, okay, yeah. I'm sorry I said Italy earlier, guys. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking about an article I read earlier or something. I don't know. But England, of course, yeah, you would know that, right? Because we talked about that, of course. And then I guess what would be next? Korea?
So we're actively pursuing Spain in 2027.
Okay.
With the same people. We've also talked about trying to figure out a way through our instructor and through our coach to go to the World Cup, and that's a completely different ordeal where you have to be invited.
Yeah.
So the only way to do that is
not the World Cup.
I'm sorry, World Championships. Forgive me. We have to be invited, but the only way to be invited is if you're good and you win.
Yeah.
But Spain right now we're looking at.
But these two organizations run in the same circles.
They do.
Got you.
They all compete against each other.
Yeah. Is this what organization is it?
ITFU Union.
We went to the
Okay.
ITF Union, which is it's a very large association. We had about 1,600 competitors that were there. There was a championship held at the same weekend. There was 3 total, but one held in Croatia. They had about 3,500 competitors.
Okay.
The reason why is because, how many?
2,500.
2,500, sorry. But the reason why is because in Europe, those European guys can get there. They're all relatively
Right.
close,
Yeah.
so they can all get there. Argentina is a long way away.
Yeah.
But that would be our next step. Those people that you see on YouTube right now that we all watch, Suska and Sylvia and Honey and all these people that we watch, Ariella that we watch, Mark Trotter. I'm sorry, I don't know y'all's rank, but I know that all y'all are either masters or grandmasters. We want to be able to just shake their hands one day. We want to be on the same playing field as them.
Yeah.
And brother, that's the UFC.
Yeah.
So
No,
right now we
100%.
just got our foot in.
So next is Spain.
Spain in 27.
27.
Yes, sir.
Tell them where we're competing. Tell them where we're competing, man.
Go ahead, Madeline.
So Aidan did some research on that tournament, and supposedly it's on a volcanic island.
In the Canary Islands, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be so
Yeah. Yeah. And so as Melanie would say, we were looking at all this. She goes, "Oh, I don't, this is going to be crazy. I mean, where are we going to go to Walmart at?" And that was the joke, was, but so yeah. I mean, we want to go, and the main thing we want to do though is we want to represent our faith well. We want to represent our instructor, our association well, our friends well. We want you guys to know, man, that because you've helped us almost as much as everybody else has. We want you guys to know that when we're there in that ring, honestly, when we're there in that ring, we're coaching, we're competing, whatever we're doing, or the journey, when we start the journey all the way to the end, that we're doing it for you guys, man. We just want to bring respect back to Taekwondo, and we want to do it for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. Yeah, all the accolades go to you guys for sure. So until 27, what's the game plan? Because that's a good ways away now, right?
Yeah, it is. So because it's so expensive to travel, I think we totaled it up. It took about $15,000 to get us 4 down there.
Right.
I'm sorry, us 5 down there. And we had to just sell raffle tickets, and we did a lot of stuff. So we're going to have plenty of time. Now, what do we do in the meantime? Well, we have to keep these 2 guys have got to stay active.
So we're doing stateside tournaments?
We are.
Well, we'll be going back to Canada
Okay.
next year, and we'll be doing some tournaments the ITF America is putting on next year. So hopefully, and then
January 1, they start going back to the compound and visiting Blake Franklin and Brent Mason.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tournament in New Mexico we're maybe eyeballing. We have to make sure it's okay with our instructor, or Philadelphia was the other one maybe.
Yeah, and a couple of them should be in Florida too. Huh?
Yeah, and then we'll start training. We'll start back up training with the Rockwall crew. We call it our Rockwall family. We'll start back training with them, I think, in March. Something was said in March. So anytime you go over there and train with them, it's an event. I mean, there's some heavy hitters over there. So
They get after it.
they do. So, but we need that because people that I was told, some little intel. I'll leave you with this little intel.
Oh, do we have time? You're good.
In Argentina, I was told this by my instructor. He said, Argentinians love us. They love us. We come down there. Don't love us in the ring, but boy, they love us, and they do, man. I can't tell you how many times a kid I didn't even know would walk up, one of these shirts on, and he'd say, "Are you Aidan's dad?" He didn't know English, but he knew Aidan's dad. "Are you Aidan's dad?" And then he spoke Spanish. But that was a cool event, and we hope to come back one day, or go back one day. But this event in Spain, you have to always set that mark of expectation. This event in Spain, there's going to be some countries there that absolutely hate our guts, and they'll not just take it from you.
What example?
You're down around the Mediterranean, so all that stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
But there are going to be some practitioners there, and they would want nothing more than to embarrass an American. So
Ain't gonna happen, bro.
it
ain't gonna happen.
We're going to try our best to do the same thing we've always done, represent
So what
our
is-
faith family. And
So where do the home countries come into these competitions? Are they not competing in these
Go
The
ahead.
what?
like
The home countries?
like Korea and
Well, that's a lot of politics
yeah? So
involved with
okay.
Korea.
Okay.
Because of North and South. And, I did a little bit of reading. I read the book A Killing Art by Alex Gillis, right? And he kind of goes into that. There was a lot of controversy with ITF style versus WT,
got you,
Olympic style.
which is Olympic style, which is a lot of what South Korea does.
got you.
Okay. So the ITF almost went towards like North Korea style because of the general. That's
Gotcha.
where he ended up.
Got you.
So I think it was in the 70s or the early 80s when they were trying to get this introduced into the Olympics, and it was the ITF versus WTF to try to get in. And the literature I read, the book, the guy that did the research said that the ITF style was too violent.
Yeah, they didn't want to see it in sport.
I don't know, but they allow head punches.
Okay.
Where WT does not. It's just a lot of kicking, maybe some punching to the body.
It's
they don't
the-
even really wear hand gear.
Okay.
It's almost unwatchable nowadays. If you watch Olympic Taekwondo, if you think that is what we are going to do, you're
Right.
mistaken.
Is that all point sparring?
It's kind of like what we do.
It's kind of what they do, or excuse me, what we do. But I mean, the ITF is a little more violent because it's you're okay to punch
Full contact.
no looping punches, but you can straight punch to the head as pretty much as hard as you want.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that, and ITF is kind of just really grown in Europe. And Europe has just kind of taken over, really.
Yeah.
So you see some things in Korea. I mean, the Kukkiwon, and where you have wherever all the lineage goes back to.
Right. That
is
was my
there.
question. It was like,
Yeah.
how does that fare now? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Current competition, I guess, because I'm not.
Europe
I'm
has
not,
kind of taken that over.
Got you.
Well, the North Koreans do compete.
And they're good.
It's pretty much that whole side of the world, like North Korea, all the Russians, the
Yeah.
Russian countries, Kazakhstan, and China.
Yeah.
All those guys kind of compete in their little circuit.
Yeah, their circuit over there.
Yeah.
But they don't come to the
Kind of like
European-
it's a communist circuit.
Right.
kinda.
Right. That's my
Yeah.
next question.
Yeah.
How does
They
that work?
kind of
Okay.
do their
And they're good.
Yeah.
Oh, they're very good. But like she was saying, the bench, the line setters, the bench markers right now are in Europe.
Gotcha.
And they know it, and so that's where we're going to head to. hopefully, if our instructor says let's go, you have to follow command. It's the ITF Taekwondo is kind of like a military, or is a lot like a military. You have a general, and then we're kind of like captains. We're going to do what the general says to do for the most part. We're not blindly following somebody, but there's lines that don't need to be crossed because of politics or because of money or because of whatever, and so we're gonna follow our instructor, Grandmaster Jason Wadley, out of Lake Jackson, Texas. Love you, Grandmaster. He's a good guy, has connections all over the world, and is probably one of the best practitioners right now, even at his age, which I won't say it, but he's older than me. So, but yeah. So if he says, "Hey, we got a tournament, we're getting ready, we have an event, we're getting ready for in Spain, Patna," that's where we're going.
Okay. And so what's the before we I still want to talk a little bit. So what are your guys' plans? What are you doing? Like, so do you want to just be world champion martial artist? Do you want to run your own school? What are your next plans?
Oh, I'm first. Okay.
Go ahead, Brandon. The microphone's pointing to you.
Okay. Well, as of right now, I really want to just compete until I can't anymore. Because this whole year, well, since February of this year, I've been in and out of class, in and out of tournaments because of an injury. And man, it kind of sucked because I was limited to what I could do. I could only do patterns. I really wanted to spar, and I couldn't because it would have just been too much on my body. And so now, like, I already had that feeling. I wanted to compete as much as I could until I couldn't anymore. But now it's like even more so because I kind of wasted a year almost because I can only do half of what I wanted to do. So I want to compete more. After I get back to 100%, I want to compete more. I want to help our students because now we're trying to put together our own little team, kind of like what Rockwall did, and take them across the world with us.
So like younger students?
Younger students as young as 9 years old all the way up to 50 because we have adults as well that are interested.
Got you.
So that's my two main goals coming up for next 2 years, to compete and to coach. That's what I want to do.
Got you.
What about you, Hot Rod?
My ultimate dream that I wish to do is to have a Taekwondo college in the United States, where they come and they learn Taekwondo, and like I want guys out there in uniforms sweeping the sidewalk and doing patterns in the grass.
So you pretty much want a cult. Huh?
But something like that. But as of like that's like when I'm like 60, 50 years old. But hopefully. And that that's not too old.
No.
Right? No. But right now I want to compete. After what if you were there at that last tournament in Argentina and your mind is not like I want to compete more, there's something wrong with you. Because in the moment when I'm watching that fourth degree set people down, it's like, being home right now with my cat and watching YouTube doesn't sound that bad. But now I'm like, you know what? Where's that guy at? But yeah, like I want to compete, because these championships, they don't happen every 2 months, 6 months, a year and a half. They happen every 2 years. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the Olympics. Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is something that you only have a certain amount of time to do.
How much stateside tournaments do you think you should do to stay sharp? Do you think there's too many, or do you think you do? Because like this was always the thing in fighting, right? It's like you got to fight all the time. You're amateur, like you fight. Like every month, you're fighting until you get to the stage where you're like, okay, well, let's take a breath now. We're where we need to be. Now you can take some time, get a camp put together, and all that. But like, what do you think?
How many tournaments should you do to get like prepared for a championship?
Not so much prepared, but what do you think is the right amount? And like, is there too many? Like, can you compete too much? Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, you could. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You could compete too much. You could also overtrain too much.
Yeah.
We got a great piece of advice right before we went and competed in Argentina. They said don't do anything for what did he say? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's what Coach Powell said. And then I had Madeline. I actually had a conversation with Grandmaster Wadley, and he said the best time he ever performed is he had a 2-week break off before his competition. And this is a guy, he's competed all over the world as well. He said he had gotten married, went on his honeymoon. He's like, I was forced to not to train. He said, I felt fine. He said, man, I was wanting to train so bad. And he said, and I went to this competition. He said, and I waxed this guy I had not been able to beat for 2 years. And he said, okay, that's what I should do every time. So yes, overtraining, training too much is worse, I think, than undertraining.
For sure.
Yeah, and you don't want to compete in a tournament right before national championships and lose, because then it's just going to affect you mentally. It's like, I just lost this regional tournament, and now I got to fly 5,000 miles away and be a world champion. You know, sometimes that fuels people, but
Well,
doing too many competitions.
You only have you know this, you only have so many fights in you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
your fight, it's a combat sport. And like Grandmaster Wadley is, I think, almost blind in his eye and has a detached retina.
Yeah.
Because he's just been in so many spar matches.
Yeah.
And had taken a lot of hits to the head.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you just only got so many in you.
5 to 10 tournaments is a good, regional tournaments every year. That's a good number. So, but if you're
5
going,
and 10, that's a huge gap, man.
well, we used to do 5 a year, but if you're doing only 2 tournaments a year, that's not good. But if you're doing over 10, that's not good.
Yeah, and back in the day, way back in the day, there was 1, 2, sometimes 3 a month.
Yeah.
And you had to make that circuit to win that championship, point fight and all that back. But we've learned since then. Like, Brett, you need, number one, you need to rest. Number 2, the people that are helping you get there need the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then number 3, you need to be able to. This is another coach pal. You need to be able to turn it off. And if you're always competing, it's really hard to be able to turn it off. You have to be able to turn it off when you need to.
Yeah.
So I will say this too, that, and I don't want to lose this point here. If you ever have a sports team where you have a favorite player or the best player on your team, let's say you were a Saints fan, 10 years ago. Drew Brees is out there, and Drew Brees has an injury and he can't compete. He can't be there. As a coach, you're like, man, that's my best player. I really wish he was here, but I've got to move on. I've got somebody to back him up. When your best competitor, your daughter, is hurt, and then you see her out there compete at 80% and almost win, and you're the coach, and then you see her walk up and not be able to walk back down all the concrete steps. This arena was big. Watch her sit up there with this look on her face, like all I'm going to do is record because I'm hurt. You're a parent and you're a coach, and that I felt so sorry for her as a parent. And as a coach, I can't wait until she gets back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's going to be on fire.
What's
bro.
do you not want to disclose it, or what are you dealing with?
Well, so it happened this year in February. I was training for a tournament that we were going to compete in the following weekend. And I was in sparring class, and I was jumping away, like backwards, and kicking at the same time. And it was actually one of our teammates, Mr. Souza. And I kicked him with my left leg, and that's when my hips were out of alignment. And it gave me some serious back pain throughout the year. And I rested it. I did physical therapy. I went and saw a chiropractor. I went and saw our doctor.
Family doctor, yeah.
And this is all year round. And it was better when I got to Argentina. During the competition, I think it was adrenaline that helped me get through the competition, but afterwards, the adrenaline dump, and then the following day, oh, son, that was rough.
Yeah, because you're standing around. There's no cushion seating. We took little chairs with us, but there's no stadium seats there. They're just concrete steps.
Yeah.
And so everybody's sitting on concrete.
Like Boot Hill Speedway.
Just like Boot Hill. That's exactly what I thought. Where's the dirt track at?
Yeah.
The pain was okay because you can take medicine for that, which I
Right.
did. But then you see like your competitors or your teammates out there.
The mental pain is
Yeah,
not
that
good.
was that was way worse than any physical pain.
So yeah, her goal is to get healthy, and we've done an MRI. She did an MRI, no structural damage. It's now time to do PT and get back to where we want to be. And so
I got some referrals for y'all on that too. By the
love
way,
it.
So yeah.
Would love it.
No, it's not a BNI, but hey, it technically is still.
We'll work it in.
Yeah. we'll slide it in there somehow. Well, look, guys, I had a great time. I'm excited for you guys. I was excited the whole time. I mean, it seems like yesterday we were like getting the documentary out for England, and then now it's like you guys just got back from Argentina and competed on an even larger stage, and then now we're preparing for even larger stage. So I'm excited for you guys. Any last words or anything for you want to close out?
Yeah, I just want to tell you thank you again.
Oh, yeah,
Because
man.
you're like me. You're humble. You don't like to say a whole lot about yourself, but man, this is what you do. You're always promoting somebody by you helping people get what they want. You get what you want. And so when I asked you last week, when I said, a couple weeks ago when we got back, I said, hey man, can we do the podcast? You didn't say, well, hold on, let me look. Yeah, bro, we'll work it in. And I didn't realize we were going to be doing it the day after you did a 15
No, it's all good, dude. It's all
15-hour cook. So
it's all good, man.
Man, we
here
appreciate what you do. We're proud of you, and as a family, you're part of our family. Your family's part of our family. You know that. And I just want to say thank you for letting us come and tell our story.
Of course. Well, thanks so much, guys. Good luck on the next one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.